Children in the Glass Industry. A report for the Children's Employment Commission, 10th of October 1862, by J.E. White. The employment and exploitation of children for a fraction of the adult wage has long benefited the development of Britain's great industries. But at what cost to the child? I began my investigations by visiting several glasshouses in the Stourbridge area.
George?
Yes, sir?
What are you doing? Come with me. Alfred? Stop what you're doing and come with me. Now, listen carefully. We've got a man coming to speak to you about your work here. When he does speak to you, you need to think very carefully about what it is that you're saying. Only good things. If I find out that you've said bad things to him, your jobs here won't exist any longer. You'll be out on your ear, do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Percival.
Good. Now, I'm going to go and call him in. And then he will speak to you. Just remember what I said. Ah, Mr. White.
Ah, you must be Mr. Percival.
That's me.
Impressive.
Largest in the area. Provides employment for 50 people.
And how many of those are children?
Well, that depends on what you class as children. I've got 13 pipe warmers, lads of about 14 to 20. Then there's about 10 spare boys, or takers in. The job of the spare boy is very simple. So, boys of 10, 9 or even 8 would do.
I see.
Well, this way. Now, fetch the lads in early so that you can speak to them. But only for half an hour, mind. The next turn starts at midday, and the furnace will wait for no man, not even for a government inspector.
Mr. Percival, at what age do children begin work here?
Usually about 11. Though in some glass houses they start as young as 9 or 10. But I've never started anyone as young as that, except at the earnest request of their parents, who are in desperate need of the boys' wages, you understand.
The glasshouse which I first entered was dark and filled with a strong sulphurous vapour.
Well, here they are. Well, 2 of them. George, Alfred. They can show you around a bit, but not near the furnace, mind, unless you get in the way of the workers.
Thank you, Mr. Percival. I'm sure you have other matters to attend to.
Well, yes, I suppose. You lads behave yourselves.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. Now, what's in here? Oh, I've got rather too many sweets here. Would anyone care to join me?
No, thank you.
No. Oh, I'll have only one. So, my name's Mr. White, and I'd just like to talk to you a little bit about your work here at the Glass Centre. How about you, sir?
Alfred Higginbottom, sir. 14 years old I am. I've been a taker since I started 2 years ago. That's what all us lads do when we start.
I see. And what is a taker in exactly?
A taker in takes the glass into the lair. It's right up, stands above the lair. Makes me sleepy, especially at night. I sing to keep myself awake.
Yeah, right noise you make too. That's not what we do here, sir. We've been running errands here and there, washing and cleaning.
Opening doors, calling pipes in the jigger, and then bring some coal.
I see. And what hours do you all work?
Me and George are in the second turn, which begins at midday on Monday. We work 6 hours on and 6 hours off until Thursday evening.
So, what time will you go to bed today?
By 8 tonight I'll be up again at 1:45 midnight. And be here in a few minutes for the next turn.
That's less than 4 hours sleep.
Yes, sir. We're always rushing around here. Don't get time to eat proper. Just grab a bite, here and there, when I get a moment.
Mr. Percival hit me on the head because I wasn't quick enough
He hit you about the head?
with a blowing iron.
Really?
Don't worry, sir. There's nothing in there.
In where?
In his head, sir.
Oi!
All right, then settle down. Tell me, have any of you been treated badly here? Come now, you can speak freely.
We don't lose our job, sir.
Alfred!
We need the money.
I can assure you, I won't put your name on paper.
I saw a man hit Billy over the head with a blowing iron. It cut his head open and made it bleed.
Goodness me.
Once I was taken in the glass and I fell down and broke it. And when I came back and told the master, he jumped up and ran at me and knocked me down. There was a great bruise on my thigh from it.
Tempers get as hot as the furnace, sir. It doesn't matter to me because I work with my relations.
We all get hit sometimes, sir.
And how much do you both get paid?
I get 4 shillings a week. I give it to me ma'am.
We like working extra hours because we get a bit of a pocket money for ourselves.
And what other jobs are there for boys here?
My brother waits on the men into the cutting shop, and some boys become gatherers, but it's not often to move up to be an apprentice.
I'm lucky though because my father works here as a blower.
I see.
I'm being taught. I want to be as good as him.
Then I'm sure you will be. Have you had a go at making anything yet?
Yes, sir. Here's a frig. It's like a practice piece. When we've got time, we're allowed to make things what we want.
Thank you for taking time to speak to me, boys.
I'll take to meet my brother, sir. This way, sir. This is Joseph,
Pleased to meet you.
and my brother James. And this William, sir.
Pleased to meet you, boys. You look tired, so I shan't keep you long. Tell me, do you find the work here arduous?
It's hard. Yes, it's hard. But you get used to it.
My little cousin Henry, he works in the coal mines that feeds our furnaces. I wouldn't want to work there underground and all that. It's much better here.
It looks like quite dangerous work. Do you ever have accidents?
Look at my hand. It burnt last week.
We're always getting injured.
I got burnt when I first came, getting in the way of the gatherers that pushed the glass up against me.
When I'm heaving the jigger, the hot pipe sometimes knocks against my arm and burns it.
I got my hands and arm cut from falling on the glass.
Young people cannot bear this kind of work, and it acts most injuriously on the youngest hands, who are generally pale, thin, ill-grown and unhealthy, suffering severely from bad eyes and stomach, bronchial and rheumatic afflictions. All the children I spoke to complained of headaches.
I have a headache very often. I'm never more than 2 days without it. I'm giddy sometimes with it, but I never tumble down from it.
At times something comes over me while I'm at work, so that I can hardly breathe. It hurts me very bad too.
You poor thing. And yet, despite these hardships, the boys all appeared grateful for the work, without which, it would seem, their families would be several steps nearer to starvation. What kind of education have you all had? Have you been to school?
I can read or write.
I never had much schooling. I was always fetched away for work.
I see.
I never go to Sunday school now because I had to work on Sunday night and go to bed in 3 in the afternoon to get ready for it.
Don't know all the letters. Was never at a weekday of school. Only 2 and 3 times at Sunday school. Ireland is a little town. Don't know what London is. I think it's a little town.
Do you think it's bigger than Stourbridge?
I don't know. Is it?
Yes, it is. Mr. Joseph Webb, proprietor of Colborne Hill Glassworks in Stourbridge, was particularly pioneering in his opinions on education of young workers.
It would be a very good thing, very desirable if it could be managed, to keep boys out of glasshouses and educate them up to the age of 13. And I should be very glad if it were fixed by law. I've always found that those which have been best educated have turned out the best workers. It is most important that all glass workers, as well as makers, should have their eye educated by attending schools of design. I have sent many to such a school and am now sending 5. I hope that any measure for the benefit of the boys will succeed.
In conclusion to my investigations, I wish to echo the opinions of Mr. Webb and recommend that an Act of Government be passed to protect these and all children and give them a right to education.